We're resuming at 8:37 p.m. For the record, we are down to 10 voting members. Councillor Di Natale appears to have departed. That's just to note for the record. We're going to start back from the top of the hour, from the top of the agenda, rather. We skipped over public comment. If there is anyone wishing to make public comment on any item on the council agenda, please approach the center podium, identify yourself by name, city of residence, and the agenda item on which you wish to speak.
Good evening, councillors. Dr. Joshua Klaus here. I reside in Fitchburg. In regards to the agenda, and Councillor Di Natale is not here, my observations on your behavior in general, I would give a B+. But sometimes there's just a sore thumb that stands out like tonight. And when you have a room full of people that are concerned and they're already in fear of what's going to happen, and every city councilor in here is opening
So I'm sorry,
their mouth.
which agenda item is this on?
Pick one.
We do take public comment only on agenda items.
Yes.
That's
So,
been our consistent practice.
and I'll claim my time and speak for another minute. People don't deserve to live in fear. We have crisis looming. And when Councillor Di Natale, and I'll reserve my comments because he's not here, I could feel the enormity of that. There's a clock of 2 minutes for people to speak at open forum. You are elected officials to hear us. Thank you, Mr. President.
I'm listening.
I just encourage you, not directly to any counselor, but in general. I heard a comment about people on social media. Well, in today's world, a lot of people do live on social media. That's reality. So we need to evolve. We need to move forward, including myself. Thank you.
Thank you. And just to clarify, I was glancing down to find the agenda item to which you're referring, which is item 3025. Just trying to solve the problem. Yep, that's fine. All right, anyone else wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, we have a few announcements. The next meeting of the Widowed Helping Widowed Support Group will take place on Thursday, March 13th from 4 until 5:30 p.m. in room 205 at the Fitchburg State University Recreation Center, 130 North Street. Kelly Lynn and Bernie Schultz will co-facilitate the meeting. The Lenten Fish Fry begins this coming Friday, March 7th, and will take place at Madonna of the Holy Rosary, 118 Teresa Street, from 4:30 until 7 p.m. April 11th will be the last Friday of the Fish Fry this year. And as the Economic Development Committee spins up its monthly meetings, I have two new business announcements here to add to bridge the gap. First, the JL African and Caribbean Food Market at 325 Main Street on the corner of Blossom opened recently and offers a wide variety of items from African, Caribbean, and Asian cuisines. They also carry fish and meat items. They're open 7 days a week until 8 p.m. And would also like to congratulate Victor Vicioso Frias, the owner of Victor's, which was formerly Mama Juana's, which has rebranded with a fresh menu, focusing on a Latin American and American fusion flavor. They are open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and I don't have their address on here.
Pritchard and Main.
Corner of Main and Pritchard, thank you. So, 423, thank you. 423 Main Street, corner of Main and Pritchard. We wish both new businesses the best of luck and appreciate that they are choosing to do business in Fitchburg.
Next, we have the report of the Appointments Committee. Councillor Kuchar. Thank you very much, Mr. President. The appointments met a few moments ago. We took up numerous appointments. One was the new appointment to the Fitchburg Board of Registrars, Zachary Boss. That was voted down. The new appointment to the Fitchburg Housing Authority Board, Heidi Bogner, was voted in favor. The new appointment to the Fitchburg Human Rights, Miriam Ashraf, was approved. Reappointment to the letter trustee of Public Burial Ground, Andrew Hawthorne, was approved. Reappointments of the Fitchburg Human Rights Commission was Cheryl McGuy Stewart was approved. Fitchburg Board of Commissioners of the Trust Fund, Josiah Richards, was approved. And finally, the Board of Assessors, Chris Paquette, was approved.
Make a motion, we accept.
Second.
I have a motion and second to accept and implement the recommendations of the Appointments Committee. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Seeing none, it is approved. Next, we have the report of the Committee on Records. Do we have a member of the Records Committee who has reviewed the records present this evening, as our chair is currently absent? Councillor Walsh.
I have reviewed the records, and they appear to be in order.
Make a motion, we accept.
Second.
I have a motion and second to accept the report of the Committee on Records. If there's no objection, we'll take this by unanimous consent. Seeing none, it is approved. We have 3 appointment letters from Her Honor the Mayor. One new appointment of Nancy C. Morin as a member of the Fitchburg Cultural Council, term to expire March 18th, 2028. New appointment Milagros Millie Whitfield as a member of the Fitchburg Cultural Council, term to expire March 18th, 2028. Reappointment of George J. Burke as a member of the Fitchburg Council on Aging, term to expire March 18th, 2028. Those will all stand referred to the Appointments Committee. We also had a promotion letter for Sergeant Michael E. Lopez to the rank of Permanent Police Lieutenant, which we handled earlier this evening. Congratulations again to Lieutenant Lopez. We have the annual auditor's report for the year ending June 30th, 2024. If there is no objection, we will waive reading and it will be placed on file with the clerk's office. Seeing no objection. Report of the Council as a Whole Committee. We met earlier this evening as the Committee of the Whole. Took up 2 items, 02925. Mayor Squalia petitioning to accept MGL's Chapter 64L Section 2 to implement a local meal excise. That was recommended for passage by a vote of 7-4. And 3025, Mayor Squalia to accept Mass General Laws Chapter 32B, Sections 21 through 23, regarding the health insurance negotiation process, and that was given leave to withdraw. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that was unanimous. Sorry, it's been a night. So that report now stands before the Council.
Make a motion, we accept.
Second. I have a motion and second to accept the report of the Council as a Whole Committee. Any objections? Seeing none, it is approved. Report of the Finance Committee. Councillor Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Finance Committee met on February 26. We took up a number of items. All but one was adopted. If it's all right with you, Mr. President, I think I'll just talk about the one that was held, and as soon as Council is caught up here regarding the minutes. That we held one was 025-25, order that the City of Fitchburg hereby appropriates from available funds the sum of $35,000 to facilities, contracted services for critical equipment repairs and maintenance at City Hall and the Legislative Building. That was held. There are still some questions regarding the total amount of money needed to pay for the things that we need to pay for, and some broader concerns about the position as a facilities manager as a whole. So that was held. Should we get into the community development block grants now as well?
If it's all right with the Council, I would like to pull that out so that we can, because there's bound to be at least some question on it.
Sure.
Definitely.
And that way we can handle the remainder of the Finance Committee report before getting into that.
Sounds good. If there are no questions or concerns about any agenda items, that is my report.
Make a motion, we accept.
Second?
I have a motion and second to accept the report of the Finance Committee on all items excluding the communication on Community Development Block Grant Year 51. If there is no objection, it is unanimously approved. Councillor Cruz, the CDBG.
Correct. So we got pretty extensively into it, even though it was just a communication. There was quite a bit of discussion. Everything was passed. Everything that you see in your packet was very similar from previous years. There was one, and this is a note to make, there was one change, and this is something we haven't done in previous years. Councillor Walsh motioned to eliminate the Mayor's Energy Fund. That is in public services under M, the $5,000, and then move that, the committee decided to move that to J, also in public service, to do the community development recommendation for community legal aid up to $10,000. So we took $5,000 from M and we moved it to J. And after that, everything was approved, almost all unanimously. Sometimes there was one vote against.
Thank you. And before we take any vote on that, because we have those orders later in the agenda, which I'll end up asking us to take out of order, I would just like to ask, because I don't have the orders written out in front of me, was the recommendation of the committee on that change detailed by Councillor Cruz accepted by the administration or rejected by the administration?
We heard your concerns about adding to community legal aid, so we reduced the Mayor's Energy Fund, which provides assistance to residents, especially for heating in these cold months, especially during these extreme increases in gas prices that we're seeing. My Deputy Chief of Staff, Miles Phillips Wilcox, handles the majority of these concerns, and Alexander Vera, Chief of Staff, he handles some of them as well. So they can speak to the significance of this fund, but we heard your concerns about the community legal aid, so we reduced the Mayor's Energy Fund to $3,000 and moved that $2,000 to the community legal aid.
All right, so in that case, our first order of business is to simply vote to accept the report without action of the Finance Committee on, go ahead, Councillor.
Could I just comment? And I want to commend the change. When I moved to increase community legal aid at that time, I mean, I don't think my motion was to cut the Mayor's Energy Fund. I agreed to it afterwards, but because
No, I
it had to
wasn't
come
I
from
made that
somewhere.
motion. I made the motion.
But I'm glad that the mayor has seen fit, or the administration has seen fit, to reinstate $3,000 to that account. I think that's a fair compromise. Because
All right.
both, you know, it's who do you hurt more, and I think that's a fair compromise. It saves that money for two legitimate concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. So our first order of business will be to accept without action the report of the Finance Committee on the communication. Again, just to reiterate, the committee's action on that was advisory in nature.
Motion to
So-
accept.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any objections? All right, the report is accepted. Now I would ask for a motion for suspension of the rules, both to take, and we can separate this if anyone wants to, but this would be two suspensions of the rules. One, to take item 9 out of order so that we can act on it in tandem with what we just discussed. Item 9 being the actual orders for the CDBG funds.
So moved.
I have a motion and second to take it out of order.
Second.
Any objections? Seeing none, I now need another motion to suspend to take up those orders without referral to committee.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Any objections? Seeing none, all right, the orders 037 through and including 05725 are now before the council. These are the CDBG orders.
Oh, yeah, CBG. I got one, I say one question.
Go ahead, Councilor, you have the floor.
On the only thing I was at a function the other day downtown Fitchburg, and we're talking to one of the merchants, and he asked me, he was supposed to come tonight, but the reason he wasn't here, because there was a bunch of people, because he was going to speak. And he's asking us to do something about the downtown, that the people hanging around is affecting the businesses downtown. I keep on telling you that.
So, Councilor, what part of the CDBG orders does
That would
this
be on the
pertain
police
to?
department. We're giving them $40,000, $20,000 for the rail trail, and $20,000 for the downtown area for policing down there, foot patrol. And he was telling me, I don't want to put words in his mouth, he was telling me that he did go outside one time to ask the people to move, and he almost got in a fight with them. And he said numerous times when he was down there, people would park their car, were coming across the street, and they were going towards this building, and because people were hanging around, they literally turned around and went back into their car. So we must do something about the merchant, because if we're going to say, Anthony, Mr. President, if we're going to say, yeah, then I'm going to say, no. That's what I'm going to say from now on. And I'm not going to waste my time focusing on downtown if we're not going to do anything about the problems that we're having downtown.
So, Councilor, as was discussed at the committee meeting, there's a limit to what the police can do about people hanging around if hanging around is the only thing that they're doing that people object to. Now, if they do become aggressive or they're blocking passage or anything like that, the police can do something about that. But if all they're doing is standing around and the fact that they're standing around makes people uncomfortable, the police are legally barred from asking them to move just because of that.
Well, Mr. President, I know you're a lawyer, and I know I'm sitting on the side and one over here to the right, and I know I got one right over here to the left. But my question to you is, I drive to different communities, and they get this, I think they get the same kind of rules that we have, and how come I don't see people hang around? Because when they hang around for half an hour and they haven't moved, the officers of the law say, hey, let's move on.
You could have an ordinance, we don't, but you could have an ordinance that said you can't occupy a given 5-foot square of sidewalk for longer than half an hour. As long as it was neutrally applicable to everyone, no matter what they're saying or doing on that spot, you could have it. I'm not saying it would be a good idea, but it would get around the arbitrariness objection that led to the case that I'm thinking of.
Well, Mr. President.
However, well, no, you have the floor. I'm sorry. I'm answering your question. I don't mean to overrun you.
What I did is I brought it up because the young man asked me to bring it up. Like I said, he asked me to talk about it. There is a problem downtown. It's not only just him. It's other merchants too, but I happen to be in this place of business, and he talked to me. So I'm letting you know, as a counselor, as a resident of Ward 2, Fitchburg, and Ward 2, and my residents go down there, and they tell me to, and what I observe when I drive up Main Street, and I drive up Main Street quite a bit, and when you see people sitting and hanging hour after hour after hour.
Counselor, we all know the problem. We could talk about it for a long time, but ultimately we're just asking whether we're going to approve the funding for this police project. And I will note, and again, I'm not trying to do anything except add information. I will note that it's fairly consistently reported that having more foot patrols leads to less loitering.
Right.
So if they're going to be increasing foot patrols, even if they're not actively moving these people along, having more foot patrols will lead to fewer people hanging about, looking or seeming or acting in an unsavory manner that might drive people away. So unless you have some objection to the specific item.
No, Mr. President, because I voted for it, and I told the chief how I felt. That's all I just wanted to know.
All right.
I related the guy's the message to the guy. And
Yep.
if nothing happens this year, I won't support it next year.
Okay,
If
point
I get
made.
reelected.
Point made.
Thank you.
So, given that, and given what has been reported about amendments between the original package and the order, do we have a motion to approve the orders as they stand?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion to approve orders 37 through 5725. Do I have any objections? Seeing none, they are approved. We have 4 finance orders. Unless anyone objects, I will waive reading them. They will stand referred to committee. Seeing no objection. We have Order 5825. I'm going to summarize here. This is to authorize the mayor to extend a deed restriction set forth in the deed for 21 Market Street. This will stand referred to city property. We now have the first reading of a loan order, 1925. I am going to read this out because it is, it will require a roll call vote. And so this is a loan order number 160-24, which was ordered by this council on September 17th, 2024, and authorized the borrowing of $12,700,000 for various water projects, is hereby amended by replacing it in its entirety to read as follows. Ordered that $11,400,000 aggregate amount is appropriated for the following projects, including all costs incidental and related thereto, which amount may be apportioned to such projects as needed to accomplish the projects. Rehabilitation and or upgrade of the Meeting House, Gatehouse, and Mere Meadow Pump Station at an estimated cost of $4,300,000. Main Street Water Main Replacement Project at an estimated cost of $4,500,000, which amount is expected to be used in addition to certain American Rescue Plan Acts funds available for the project. Regional Water Treatment Plant Roof Replacement and or Weatherproofing Project, estimated cost of $850,000, and Water Street Water Main Replacement Project at an estimated cost of $1,750,000, and that to meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow $11,400,000 under General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 8, or any other enabling authority, that the mayor is authorized to contract for and expend any federal or state aid available for projects, that the mayor is authorized to take any other action necessary to carry out the projects, and that the treasurer is authorized to file an application with the Municipal Finance Oversight Board to qualify under Chapter 44A of the General Laws any or all of the bonds authorized by this order, and to provide such information and execute such documents as the Municipal Finance Oversight Board may require for these purposes.
Breathe.
Oh, I'm not even winded.
Why doesn't that surprise us?
Motion to approve and send it to second reading?
Second.
On the motion,
On the motion?
I got one quick question for you. On this motion here that we're proposing, I know I voted for it, and I just want to make sure, we already set aside the money in our rate in the water increase, right? On this 11.4 million?
If I recall correctly, this is intended to be funded entirely out of the enterprise fund, yes.
Okay, all right, okay, go move. I yield the floor. I just wanted to know, make sure of that.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilor Cragan.
Yes.
Councilor Cruz.
Yes.
Councilor Fleming.
Yes.
Councilor Green.
Yes.
Councilor Schultz.
Yes.
Councilor Van Hazinga.
Yes.
Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
President Zarella.
Yes.
Councilor Boschman.
Yes,
Councilor Kuchar.
Yes.
That passes by 10 members.
Thank you very much. We have 05925, Liz Murphy, Executive Director of Community Development and Planning, to request approval of a tie agreement for 533 Main Street. That will stand referred to Economic Development. 6025, Councilor Boschman, to remove parking meter bags on Grove Street. That will stand referred to Public Safety. And that concludes our business for the evening.
To adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion to adjourn.
second.
And seeing no objection,
Yeah.
we are adjourned.